By the way, how many Too Close for Comfort drug stories as it relates to law enforcement in and around a location shoot do you have? Because I heard another one where like maybe you had replaced someone and then you were in Europe and there's like the cops were coming back to the house.
Okay, wait. This is I'm kind of getting into your time here.
No, I love it. Come on, this is great. This is what it's good.
I probably told you this story.
I love this story.
Okay, all right. I'm going to tell this story. Okay, this is 10 minutes. We're going to almost have to go out on this. All right, Ronnie?
Great. I love it.
All right, so James Remar is over in England. He gets busted for drugs. And they basically booted him out of the country. I get a call on Thursday from Gail Hurd. Says we had to get rid of Remar. He was doing drugs, and we fired him. And he's come on over. So I left on a Thursday. I was over there on a Friday, and I started shooting on Friday at Pinewood Studios over in England. Bill Paxton, Sigourney Weaver, Jim, Gail, and they had us staying in a little town that was right next to the studio called Slough, all right? The town itself is as ugly as the name. The original office that Ricky Gervais did was based in the town of Slough. Okay.
There's a very popular Apple TV show about it now called Slow Horses, and
does that take place in Slough?
Yeah, it's called the Slough House. Okay. That's where all the reject MI5 agents go, and Gary Oldman just berates them. Yep. It's a fantastic show. Wow. Go ahead.
So, but it's a shithole. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I'm not living here. I'm going to go live in London, man. I can, it's a 45-minute drive into Pinewood Studios from Chelsea, which is the Beverly Hills Melrose Place crossover, and that's where I'm going to live. And I started talking to Bill about it on Tuesday, saying I'm not staying in Slough. And I understand why Jim stayed there. Jim and Gail stayed there because they could wake up, put on their clothes, and walk into the studio. Right. But I didn't. There were going to be times that I wasn't working, and I didn't want to stay there.
No.
So I talked Bill into talking to his agents and my agents, and we got places in
Chelsea.
In Chelsea, yeah, thank you. In London. So I get in a car that Friday after work, and I'm with Bill, and there's a place that's been set up for Bill in Chelsea, and there's a house that's been set up for me, apartment for him in Chelsea, and a house for me in Chelsea, right? So we get in the car, and we're driving, and as you do, it's a Friday night, we want to get some pot, so we went to an area in town, it was called Brixton. Okay, so we go to Brixton, and we score like a bag of pound. We used to call it a lid. It was, like whatever, bag of pot. Yeah. And we go into, drive into London, and we're looking for our apartments. His apartment, my house, we don't know where we're going exactly. But we want to get there because we want to smoke this pot we picked up in Brixton. So I can remember stopping once and asking a Bobby, an English cop, "Hey, excuse me, can you tell me how you get to Chelsea and what road we need to get to the King's Road on Chelsea?" "Oh yeah, you just go up here and blah blah blah." And I pull off, and Bill's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "What?" He says, we got pot in the car. What are you doing? Are you crazy? I go, "It's Remar's car. The pot's in the back, and if anything would have happened, it would have been Remar's car and Remar's pot." Right. So I wasn't worried about anything, right? So anyway, we go in, we go to the King's Road, we find Bill's house. It's more like an apartment.
Right.
And You know, the front room is about as big as we have here. Whatever this is, 20 feet by 30 feet or whatever. That's the main room. And the front door is like right where the front door is where you see, okay? So we get there, we take the pot out, and as you do back in the day, pot used to be full of seeds, and it used to be full of stems and all that kind of stuff. So we take the pot, and we put it on a table, just like this, and we're taking the stems out and taking the seeds out, and he's rolling a joint, and you know, but it's spread out. It's spread out all over the table. And so anyway, we smoke some pot, and again, because he hadn't smoked, well, totally blasted. We get really high, and it's like, okay, Remar just gotten fired. 4 days before this,
for drugs.
For drugs. So we decide we're going to walk up the street. Turns out my house is only about 3 blocks away, and we're going to go check out my house. So he makes me a little baggie of pot, and I put it in my hand. And back then it was cold. It was getting close to wintertime, and I had an overcoat over my hand like this. And we walk out of his house, and we start walking up to the King's Road. As we're walking up to the King's Road, we're laughing, we're stoned, we're having a good time, we're laughing our asses off and walking. All of a sudden, there was something that just felt, there was a noise behind us, right? And it was like, what the hell is that? And we turn around, and there's 4 fucking. You could tell they were cops or military. Yeah, you could tell. Yeah, but they didn't have on. They didn't have on a bobbies.
Uniforms.
They were what you'd call like an undercover cops.
Right.
They were all in suits. They all looked the same. And from about 20 yards, as we turned around, I got a bag of fucking pot in my hand. Oh, they were running full fucking speed, at. There was nobody else there. There was nobody else around us. At us. Full fucking speed. And you know what's going through my head is, Jesus Christ. I came over, to replace Remar, and I got this bag of, and these guys came running, and they just fucking blew right by us. They just blew right by us. They were obviously after somebody or something else, right? So this scared us so badly that I said to Bill, let's just go back to let's forget about my place for the time being. Let's go back. Yeah. So we go back to his apartment, which was a 3 or 4 minute walk. And we walked back to the apartment, and it was kind of set back. And I had the pot in my hand. I was so scared that there was a hanging planter in front of his house. I took the pot and I put it inside the planter. Yeah. I was just like, I was scared. Yeah. And by this time, Bill and I are getting ready to go in his house, and we're laughing. Oh my God, what the fuck? What was that? Those are cops and stuff. Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, and we're laughing, and we're having a good time, and he takes out his keys and he starts to open the door. And we feel this presence, and we turn around, and those cops are standing. What the fuck? The cops are standing right behind us. And then it was obviously they were cops. They identified themselves as police officers. They wanted to know who we were, what our names were. They wanted to see our identification. They wanted to know what we were doing in London. And
you got the stems back on the table.
Inside of the house. Yeah. Inside, they start, my name's Michael Biehn. I came over here to replace.
You're like, you don't know me?
No.
You haven't seen Terminator?
Yeah.
They and Bill's like this, and they said, "Well, are you staying here?" And I said, "Well, Bill's staying here. Bill's staying here." And they said, "Well, let's go in and talk about this." And that's what cops do. I've been around enough cops to know when they say, "Well, let's just go inside and let's have this conversation indoors," right? And so Bill takes his keys and goes to open the door, And I yelled, "Don't open that door!" Which all of a sudden, like, everything just changed, like a major hurt. They don't carry guns, but, if they would have been, they would have been like reaching for one. Don't open that door. And at that point, things got like, what's going on? And I started going into, I'm from America, but like in America, like from where I'm from, that if you want to go into somebody else's, house, or you need a search warrant. Now, I don't know what the laws are over here, but you need a search warrant to go inside of the house. Is that the law here, or is that not the law here? And as it turned out, it was the law over there. They couldn't just fucking ask you. They couldn't just walk into your fucking house. Bill was ready to fucking open that fucking door up, right? Now, what happened was that we spent 5 minutes or 10 minutes talking about who we were, the fact that Bill lived there, the fact that they had no right to just walk in. And I wasn't acting like a tough guy either. I was just like, in America, we, and I don't, think that it's fair that, I wasn't being like, listen, motherfuckers, nothing like that, But they knew they were in the wrong. Yeah. But, cops do that. Oh, what's inside your car, Oh, what is that? You mind if I look?
Yeah, mind if I look,
Yeah, people, go ahead and look, And so they ended up making, we just wanted to see if you lived here. They kept saying, we just wanted to make sure that you lived here. We just want to make sure you lived there. I go, he's got his keys right here. So we ended up making a deal, and the deal was with them that Bill would take his keys, open the lock, open the door, and close it. Yeah. To prove that we lived there. And that was the deal that we came up with.
That's a great story.
So we did that, and Bill opened the door, and they closed it, and they said, all right, that serves what we need to know. They weren't after us in the first place, but as soon as they got around us, I'm sure they knew we were stoned. They could smell it on us. They're cops. They were looking.
That's a great story.
They were looking to go inside. But ever since then, I always I was fine because my pot was, I didn't have anything in there. But at the moment they would have walked in the door, which was right here, they would have seen fucking the whole fucking ounce of marijuana fucking spread across the front of Bill's table. Yeah. And I always claimed that, I saved to Bill, that I saved him from a serious fucking at
being
least
the second cast member.
The second cast member, probably not because it was pot.
Yeah.
It was pot. Yeah. It wasn't heroin. But Jim Cameron would have been really fucking pissed.
Is Jim not a weed guy?
Well, no, he's a movie guy. Anything that puts this movie in any kind of jeopardy, he's going to be really fucking pissed, And if they had come in, found the pot, called the police, he'd have to go to the police station. I didn't have anything at that point, right? Yeah. So Paxton, for 10 up until the point that he died, we argued about the fact that I caused the tensions to rise very, very quickly and loudly because I yelled, "Don't open the door." And I claimed that, well, you were already willing to open the door, and if they would have opened the door, they would have seen the pot, and you would have gotten busted, and you would have gotten a serious tongue, if not something else lashing from Jim Cameron.
Bill was probably like, we're already fucked, right?
I don't know what was going on. Afterwards, he seemed to try to, kind of be like a tough guy, like it was not a tough guy, but like it was your Michael. You shouldn't have fucking yelled that. You shouldn't have yelled that.
That's funny.
But I knew enough. I'd done my Hill Street Blues. I'd done my research. I knew enough that cops are always trying to talk their way into your house. And let me just step inside. And if you're smart,
we can talk about this. Inside,
you talk outside. So
that's a great story.
Didn't I? Is that the story that I?
Yeah.
That's the same story that I told you when.
I love it. I love it,
okay.
man. Wow.